What's good, YouTube? Adriannthakidd back another video. You know what I'm saying? Hey, today we got another video about V sausage. Why do we get bored? You know what I'm saying? I bet, like, I've low key been thinking about that. Like, why do we get bored when we have stuff to do? But sometimes we don't have nothing to do. But like, why do we get bored when we have like something to do? You know what I'm saying? So that's the question. Let's get straight to it.
Hey,
Oh,
Vsauce. Michael here.
Michael.
Action and danger is exciting.
Facts.
But this is a fake gun.
Facts.
And the process of enlarging a hole like the barrel of a gun is called boring. Boring. Boring a hole is a slow process requiring
Boring.
repetitive movements from a tool that goes in circles, which may be why
Wait,
things that
is
are
this video
slow
about a
and
gun?
repetitive and don't appear to be going anywhere came to be described with the same word.
Wow.
They're boring.
Wow.
But why do we get bored?
Facts.
And why does it matter?
Our brain
Evidence
releases a
of
chemical that
being
says we're bored.
temporarily
I'm
uninterested
calling it.
in anything happening, boredom, has been found as far back as ancient Pompeii. Boredom is a feeling we don't like. It's
Facts.
uncomfortable.
It's weird.
But it's trivial, right? I mean, boredom happens
Trivial.
to all of us, but now we have Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and texting and Candy
Well, bro,
Crush
even
to keep
sometimes you get
ourselves
bored of that
occupied.
stuff, bruh.
So, really, who cares? Well, here's the thing. Physical pain, heartbreak, and nausea are also uncomfortable, but they're caused by dangerous, serious, toxic things.
Facts.
Whereas boredom occurs when you are merely disinterested in the outside world and the inner world of your thoughts, when you
Facts.
are alone with just yourself. So, does the existence of boredom mean that when it really comes down to it, life itself, existing, isn't really enough?
That's a good question, bro. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? You be like, I be in math class, right? Teacher teaches. I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing work. I'm sitting there bored. You know what I'm saying? You can't get on your phone, so that can't distract you from like the outside world. But it's like you're living. Shouldn't that be exciting enough? But it's like no. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting.
Arthur Schopenhauer said that if life possessed in itself a positive value and real content, there would be no such thing as boredom.
Facts.
Mere existence would
I'm acting
fulfill
like I know
and
what he just
satisfy
said.
us. But apparently it doesn't, because boredom exists.
Facts.
Is something wrong with being? Or is
I mean,
something
not
awesome
really.
about us? Nearly 200 years ago, Giacomo Leopardi wrote in
I
a
mean,
letter
being
to
bored
his father,
sucks.
boredom is the most sublime of all human emotions because it expresses the fact that the human spirit, in a certain sense, is greater than the entire universe.
What?
Is an expression of a profound
understand, but I
despair at
don't.
not finding anything that can satisfy the soul's boundless needs. So while superficially boredom might seem trivial or childish, embarrassing, almost rude to admit to feeling, one
Facts.
thing's for sure, boredom isn't boring. When bored, your brain activity only
Releases
drops
a chemical?
about 5%.
Dang.
And magnetic resonance images of people's brains while they were bored actually showed greater activity in regions responsible for recalling autobiographical memory, conceiving the thoughts and feelings of others,
Bro, when I-
and conjuring hypothetical events.
Yo, when I get bored, like I just start daydreaming. Like bro just said, hypothetical events, like stuff that's not even happening. I'll just imagine. So it's like I'm feeling something, but I'm not feeling nothing because I'm bored. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? I guess like being like as humans, we be so bored with the outside world. Sometimes we just make up stuff in our head to feel something. Facts.
Imagining. Jennifer Schuessler wrote about this in her appropriately titled essay, Our Boredom, Ourselves. She points out that in line with neurological evidence, boredom historically has been an important source of creativity, well-being, and our very sense of self. It's an imposed state that leaves us to think about ourselves, notice things we may have overlooked, and get antsy enough to take productive actions we might have otherwise put off,
Facts.
like cleaning, writing, or challenging the mind.
Cleaning is
with
boring, so
puzzles
I'd rather
and
just not do it.
games. As a pressure to move,
Until it gets too
boredom
much, you
may
know.
have driven us to accomplish much of what we have achieved.
Facts. I be bored, so
Measure
I come over here and make
boredom.
YouTube videos. You know what I'm
The
saying?
boredom proneness scale, BPS,
And I like doing it.
assesses an
You feel me?
individual's propensity for getting bored, in a sense, their ease of being attentive. Average scores range between 81 and 117. We can take scores on the BPS and correlate them with other things. For instance, people who know themselves well can easily label their feelings, have high levels of self-awareness, tend to have lower propensities for feeling bored. But when it comes to feeling boredom frequently, the culprit may be one's own physiology. Individuals with fewer dopamine receptors in the brain
A chemical?
tend to need more excitement to stay stimulated, meaning chronic boredom may be a symptom of the way your body is. A symptom that, if left unchecked, can become something worse. Anna Gosling lists depression, anxiety, drug addiction, alcoholism, hostility, poor social skills, bad grades, and low work performance.
Facts.
In fact, the National Center on Drug Abuse and Addiction has reported that the top 3 risk factors for teenage substance abuse are too much stress, too much spending money, and too much boredom.
Dang.
The Beth Israel Medical Center in New York reports that addicts' reported levels of boredom are the only reliable indicator of whether or not they will stay clean.
Hey, look, I will say this, like, I know a lot of people have felt this way, and like I be hearing it in music sometimes. Like, rest in peace, Juice, where he used to say, it's like when I'm bored, or like when I'm like alone type stuff, when I'm not doing nothing at all. That's when like all them thoughts just start circulating. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start feeling down. That's when you start thinking about the past, like all reminiscing, all type of stuff, bro. So boredom is dangerous. You feel me? To an extent.
Our brains need
I hate feeling bored. I feel like I always got to be
stimulation
doing
in order
something
to be healthy.
to,
Not so much that they're
not
overwhelmed,
feel
but a perfect balance unique to each individual, under
negative
which they can
emotions, I
perform
guess.
optimally with energized focus, what psychologists call flow. Too little stimulation and our brains will act out, hoping to find somewhere to prevent something worse from happening. Our brains have theosophobia,
What is that?
fear of boredom.
Facts.
Peter Toohey's Boredom, A Lively History, quotes Norman Doidge's findings that nothing speeds brain atrophy more than being immobilized in the same environment. The monotony undermines our dopamine and attentional systems crucial for maintaining brain plasticity. Variety and stimulation encourage neurogenesis, new brain cells, and can extend the lives of cells that already exist in certain regions of the brain. In order to avoid a lack of stimulation, our brains will even try to make up their own stimulations.
Like daydreaming type stuff.
Hallucinations.
Facts.
Hallucinations can be induced in almost anyone's brain if there isn't enough stimulation around. For instance, the Gansfeld effect.
The Garfield
When
effect?
exposed to random noise and
Like
an
the cat?
unchanging monochromatic field, the brain freaks out and starts generating hallucinations. The effect can also be induced with ping pong ball hemispheres over the eyes
Ping
and a
pong
radio
balls?
tuned to static. Extended sensory deprivation in a special chamber that eliminates sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile
Bro, Shorty getting cloned.
sensations by floating the body in a special
I ain't
fluid to
gonna
reduce
lie.
the sensation of weight can also cause hallucinations as well as anxiety. When denied proper stimulation,
I only
the
hallucinate
brain
when I'm
goes
like
through phases that begin with
when I'm
boredom,
sick,
and if left unchecked,
extremely hungry,
can become worse. It's a phenomenon
or feel
well
like I'm dying.
documented in animals confined to cages for long periods of time, and in a horrific case, a human child named Jeannie.
Dang.
Born in 1957 in Arcadia, California, Jeannie became one of the most famous cases of abnormal child psychology. Her father was abusive to her and her family and delusional. He hated the outside world and sought to isolate his family from it as best he could. He confined Jeannie to a room with only 2 blacked out windows for the first 13 years of her
What the
life.
heck,
He
bro?
often tied her to a toilet chair and never fed her solid food.
Bro. I hope, bro. I hope he's not still alive, bro. If he is, bro, get this man the worst punishment you can give him, bro. This man kept his daughter in a room with two blacked out windows. I think he said from ages 2 to 13, with no solid food in a toilet chair. Bro, shorty, she's in jail, bro.
When authorities finally found her in 1970, she had not acquired a language and had the mental age of an 18-month-old child. Jeannie was extensively studied and became a staple of psychology courses.
So that means nobody really talked to her
example
because,
of an
you know,
impossible
like,
experiment.
babies be
What
picking
if
up
a
on that
human
type of
child
stuff.
was isolated from human contact, social behaviors, and human language? A feral child not raised by the proverbial wolves, but instead right in the middle of suburbia.
Yo, hold on. My bad for pausing, but I seen I was watching something like some months ago. It was like a dude, bro was a toddler. He got like dropped off in the forest or whatever. His parents had passed away in the forest too. So he actually got taken care of by like monkeys and stuff. He grew up like in that type of environment. And so like he was like 30 when people like actual like people like humans found him, you know what I'm saying? And he thought he was a monkey, you know what I'm saying? He lived just like them, was naked, ate the same thing they ate, tried to do the same things they did, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's probably what would happen.
Jeannie is still alive today, her identity anonymous, as a ward of the state of California.
Okay.
Extended understimulation
I hope she
isn't
was able
just
to
a
get
punishment
help, bro.
inflicted by
That's
delusional
terrible.
caretakers. It's also a punishment inflicted on criminals, especially in the form of solitary confinement.
Facts. Solitary
In the
confinement
Bureau
is low
of
key
prisons, the
cruel.
record for most time
Low key.
spent denied social
But then
contact
criminals
is
are
held
cruel.
and still being
Some of
set
them.
by Thomas Silverstein. Considered extremely dangerous, Silverstein has been kept in solitude since 1983. He has barely seen a single other human for the last 29 years.
What?
Stories like those are intense and are far
29
beyond everyday,
years?
occasional boredom. Simple boredom, what you feel when waiting at an airport or listening to an unengaging lecture, is not a disorder, it's not a mood, it's an emotion. Robert Plutchik's Wheel of Emotions is a great way to visualize
Joy, trust,
this.
fear, surprise,
The wheel
sadness,
is based
disgust,
on
anger,
8
anticipation.
basic emotions extended in order of intensity.
Dang.
Boredom is
I thought we only had
positioned
like
as
5
a
emotions.
light version of disgust. Emotions are not superfluous. Normal amounts of them have a purpose. Creatures who feel emotions are often
I know us
compelled
as men
to
only
do
got like 2.
and not do more complicated things than merely eating, drinking, sleeping, and procreating, like building friendships, apologizing, loving unconditionally, and planning, building for the future. Disgust is an emotion we don't like. It keeps us from doing things. Its purpose
Facts.
is most likely a
Keep you
warning,
from
an
eating that
alarm
food you
triggered
don't
by
wanna
things
eat.
that appear rancid, spoiled,
Bro,
toxic,
I'm
that could poison us
disgusted.
or make us sick. Like a good friend, disgust pushes us away from such things. It guides us in a healthy direction. Likewise, boredom protects us. Monotonous speakers, mind-numbing tasks, and overload of sameness, those things aren't dirty or poisonous. They're just not stimulating enough. Boredom compels us to new things, fresh stimulation, and when it can be overcome, a propensity to boredom is a sign of a healthy mind. It's advantageous. Creatures who felt it wound up doing more, flourished more, which led to more creatures like themselves. Boredness feelers. So the next time you're a little bored, be proud. Thank your ancestors. You
I'm a
are
little bored right now.
participating in a life-improving drive, like hunger or thirst, that pushes us toward new and better things. Give yourself time away from the usual distractions to get bored. It will
To
be
get bored.
boring. But boring is literally how holes get made and perfected.
Bro, sometimes
Not all
boredom
holes
is
are
like
useful,
being
but
bored is
some
like peaceful
become
because you
peepholes
alone with
to
nothing
some
to do,
pretty
so you
cool
kind of
stuff.
just
And as
you
always,
kind of just there,
thanks for watching.
bro. Bro, I forgot his name. You gotta stop looking at me like that, bro. Michael. You know what I'm saying? Another W video. You know what I'm saying? I love this dude content, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so yeah, that's why do we get bored? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Boredom's good for some people. It's not for others. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, stay bored. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Agent the Kid, and I'm letting them out. Follow my social. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, that blows.